Okay. Hello, geometry students. Here is our quiz review. Okay, so as you know, usually I do a review. I give you the same questions I'm having on the quiz, but just change the numbers up or change the shapes up in this case. So numbers are going to change, but the idea is the same. First question is a translation. The second question will be a rotation. The third question will be a dilation, and the fourth question will be a reflection. Now, I don't really want you to graph anything, so don't feel I don't want graph paper. I only want the numbers. So this stuff here, you managed to print this out and or you have graph paper, this is only for your reference. Okay? Don't give me this. These are what I want you to give me. Okay, so if you look here, there's there's 8 numbers I want you to give me. X's and Y's, X, Y, X, Y, X, Y. I want coordinates. Okay, of course we know the first number in these is always the X, and the second number is always the Y. Now, a translation. Okay, let's review this real quick. A translation is a movement. Okay, it's moving something. In this case, it's going to move 2 right and 3 down. Now, if you have a graph paper, there's a way to do this with graph paper. I'll go with that after I do the math one. But if you don't, it's still doable. Now, our translation. We have to remember something with translations. On the top, I'm going to put this. I'm going to put, if we're going up, it's positive. If we're going down, it's negative. If we're going right, it's positive. And if we're going left, it is negative. Now, our translation here, what we're doing when we're taking t from x to y, we're going to right. That's the x direction. The right, left is our x direction. So that means I am going to take x, whatever x is, and I'm going to add 2 to it. Sorry, I shouldn't do that. Comma. And then I'm going to go down 3. So that means I take whatever y is, and I subtract 3. So all these numbers, we'll see that what we're going to do is basically very, very, very simple. I'm going to look at my A, my B, my C, and D. I'm going to make them into A prime, B prime. So I already have my A down here. So I'm going to take negative 5. I'm going to add 2 to it, because that's what my rule says. Then I'm going to take my Y, which is 5, over here. I'm going to subtract 3 from it. For B, my X is negative 2. I'm going to add 2 to it, just like I'm going to do for all my X's. And for all my Y's, I'm going to take my 5, I'm going to subtract 3. Every Y gets 3 subtracted from it. It was true for everyone. For C, I got negative 1 as my X. I'm going to add 2 to it. For my Y, I have 3. I'm going to subtract 3 from it. And finally, for my D, negative 3, add 2, positive 3, minus 3. So now, when I do my work here, and I make A prime, B prime, C prime, and D prime, simple math. Use the calculator. Negative 5 plus 2. I'm going to do it in my head. Negative 3. Because I know these 5 minus 3 is 10. There's 1/4. Done. Negative 3, positive 2. Second one. Negative 2 plus 2 is 0. 5 minus 3, 2. Use the calculator. So the next answer, 0, 2. Negative 1 plus 2, just 1. 3 minus 3 is 0. 1. comma 0. And finally, our D, negative 3 plus 2, negative 1. Use the calculator, 0. Now, that is the way to do it mathematically. We went over this. Look in the translations lesson if you want to review this. I'll show you real quick if I was going to do this on a, hold on, graphically, if you want to do this and print it up, it's not that hard. So what you have to do is take the 4 points, and every point you have to move 1, 2 to the right, and then 1, 2, 3 down. So this is 1 over here. That one we call A. This one is B. So 2 right, 3 down. It's going to get a little messy here. 1, 2. And 1, 2, 3 down. And then you keep doing it for all of them. For C over here. Two across. Oop, 1, 2 across, and 3 down. And then finally for D over here. 2 across and 3 down. I'm not a big fan of this method on this problem because you'll see it's becoming very, very messy, especially after I made a couple of mistakes. It works though. You will see that these numbers correlate A prime, negative 3, comma 2, 0, comma 2 for B prime. Negative 1, excuse me, 1, comma 0 for this one, and negative 1, comma 0 for that one. It works out really, really nice. If you can do it that way, study this way. Okay, I want you to be able to do this. Remember, this video is open while you're taking the test. So if you're taking the test, and you go in there and you go, well, I can't remember what plan said, go back to the video. It's still there. Okay, next one. Rotation. Now I'm going to tell you straight up, we had 4 different rotations we looked at. Actually 3, but we'll say 4. Rotation of 90 degrees, 180, 270, remember counterclockwise and clockwise. We're going to do on the quiz the same one as this. We're going to do a 90-degree counterclockwise. Not changing that. Now there's a rule for 90-degree counterclockwise. It is this. It says, you take x, y, what you have to do is rewrite it as negative y, comma x. Okay, well, down here, I know my x is a first and my y is a second. So remember that rule. That rule you're going to need on the test. So here we go. First I put negative y. Well, my y is 4, and right now it's positive, so I make it negative. Then I put my x over here. Again, negative y. Well, my y is 0. Negative 0 is just 0. I'll put the x over here. I flip them, and I make the first one negative. Then I do negative y. Negative a negative 3, though, is a positive 3. I put the y over here. So what does this look like? Well, let's look what A prime, B prime, C prime looks like. If I look at it here, A is negative 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, comma 1 is our A prime. Our B is 0, comma 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And our C is 3, 1, 2, 3, comma 2. So our new A prime, B prime, C prime is just rotated like that. Pretty simple when we do this. It's not that out of control to do this. It's simple. Remember this rule. This rule will be on the test. I'm already telling you what rotation you have. You'll just have different numbers. Okay, let's do another one. Our dilation. If you remember, okay, a dilation is when we make something bigger or smaller. A dilation is very hard to do on a graph paper. Okay, I don't ever recommend it. You do it mathematically first and then graph it. Now, they say they're going to make this. You're going to take this triangle. ABC has these vertices. We got them. I already listed them over here. Find the image of ABC after the dilation centered about the origin with the scale factor of 2. So basically, when you do a dilation, you multiply everything by the scale factor, all the x's and all the y's. Okay, so again, my x's and my y's. So when I'm doing A prime to get this number, I have to do this. A prime is x times 2, or 2 times x. What would be easier? Let's do 2 times 7, comma, 2 times 10. B prime would be 2 times x, which is 4, and then 2 times negative 6, which is my y. C prime would be 2 times negative 2, comma, 2 times my y, 3. At this point, calculator works, right? 2 times 7, 14. 2 times 10, 20. 2 times 4, 8. 2 times negative 6, negative 12. 2 times negative 2, negative 4. And 2 times 3 is 6. That was all there is to it. Now, we put this in. Be careful with them. I'm not going to ask you to graph them. These are the only answers I want. Show me the work. So you can get partial credit. And show me the answers. I want x's and y's. Next part. Okay, let's look at this here. 1420. See if I can. I'm trying to even see if we can do this. I'm going to probably just have a guesstimate here. A prime. B is 8, negative 12. Up there. See, this is not even a good one to do because it's negative 4. 6 is over here. Okay, so our final little enlargement, it's twice as big. It's literally twice as big as the other one. If you measured these, you would see that. You measure these, all the side lengths are twice as long as the other side lengths. You don't have to do this part, but I'm just showing you what it would look like. I made that triangle twice as big. Remember this. Okay, so do this work along with me. Hand it in to me, and you'll be fine. This is the only one I'm going to say you're going to have to look at the computer screen a little bit more. Okay? This problem is called a reflection. I'm doing the same thing. I'm doing a reflection across the x-axis. So this is my x-axis, okay? Reflection across the x-axis. This is the y. I want the x. So this is my mirror. Remember we were talking about this when we talked about reflection? I look at my mirror. I got to find all the points and find where they are from the mirror. Now, if you notice, as I'm reflecting, you will see that the x's stay the same. All my x's are going to be the same. We'll see when we're done here. So first one, I am at 1 on the y, right? I am 1 away from the mirror. So then I have to go 1 away on the other side. So my c, I guess I mean 4, 1, c, is now 4, comma, negative 1. X stayed the same. Y changed from 1 to -1. Now look what happens in this rest of the ones here. 3, 2 comma 3. This is my B, according to my numbers down there. I am 1, 2, 3 away from the mirror. When I get to the mirror, I have to go another 1, 2, 3. So my new B prime, we want to call it, is 2, comma -3. Look at that. So I see a rule develop here. This is going to work on the quiz if you realize the rule. 5 comma 5, this is my A. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 away from the mirror. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A prime. If I look at it, it's at -5. Double check if you're using the graph paper. Okay, it's hard to see, but I actually have little, boxes on mine. You will have too. So my new A prime, the X stays the same, and this becomes -5. Look at that pattern. There's a pattern here. Could save you a lot of time. May not even have to graph them. So my new triangle looks something like this, which you'll notice is a mirror image of that triangle. Interesting. Remember to count it different ways. How far you're away from the mirror. Now, I want this all copied and sent to me. That's your work for the day. You literally copy. Okay, which should give you prep. I'm going to move the quiz to Thursday, and it's not going to be due to the following Monday, so you have all weekend to work on it. So right now, concentrate on this. Get this into me. You'll have an extra day to study for the quiz. You'll take the quiz on Thursday. It'll be due Monday, and you'll get a good score on it. I'll be very proud of you guys. All right, I'll talk to you later.